Okay, so have you ever been so nervous and scared that your heart's beating so fast, like feels like it's gonna be right at your chest, or like you're breathing so fast that like you're not even breathing at all? Okay, well, from my experience, I learned that you need to protect what you love, and that you always need to prepare for everything, even the unexpected things. And my experience happened when I was in 2nd grade, and I was with my mom and my dad, and we were in the living room. And it was like 11:30 at night, and it was like on the weekend, it was like on a Saturday. And we're just watching TV, and I was like at a point, like I was like half awake but like half asleep, and I was just laying on the couch. And I remember like my mom like jumped up from the couch and she like screamed no, and my dad jumped up, and since I was like half awake, half asleep, I was like really confused and I wasn't sure like what was going on. And like it was around like the election time. And, like, politicians were always calling my dad, so I was like, oh, like, somebody's, like, at the door, like, for my dad, but it was, like, at nighttime. But they, like, jumped up and ran to the door, and then it took me, like, only a couple seconds to realize something was, like, really wrong. And somebody was, like, banging on our door and, like, trying to break down our door. And then I heard this guy, like, screaming, and he was, like, trying to, like, get in our house, and, like, he was, like, screaming, like, somebody was chasing him and trying to, like, kill him. And we had, like, a little, like, curtain thing on our door, and then they pulled it back. And the guy, I remember like exactly what he looked like when he was wearing, like, he had like a brown leather jacket on, like a black t-shirt underneath, and his head was shaved, and he looked kind of like Mexican. And like my dad was like leaning up against the door, like trying to hold it shut because he was like banging on it so hard and like kicking it. And my mom was like screaming, and then she like came and grabbed me, and she like set me like down in the stairway. And I remember like all like the lights were like turned off, and we had like another door in our kitchen, and I was like sitting on the steps and I could see it, and I was like looking at that door, and like I was like so certain that like somebody else was gonna like come in and like kill us, because like when you're a kid, like you always hear like about stories about like people getting like kidnapped or like killed, and like you never think that's gonna happen to you, but when you're a kid, like imagination like it was crazy, so I was like expecting the worst. And so I was sitting in the stairway and I was crying, and my chest hurts, and like my heart was beating so fast. And like I couldn't breathe, and I was like hyperventilating pretty much, and I could just hear my dad like yelling, and my mom screaming, and like I was just waiting for like the guy to like get in our house, because he was like the door was so loud, and then it was just so weird, and he just kept screaming and would not stop, and finally my dad was like, if you don't leave, we're gonna call the cops or whatever. And so the guy still wouldn't leave, and then I was really scared because he kept saying that somebody was chasing him, like what if there really was somebody chasing him and they were gonna come to our house too. And so my dad calls the cops, and I was just sitting there waiting, and I was freaking out, and like my mom didn't even check on me because she was probably still worried. But the cops came, and the guy still didn't leave, and they arrested him or whatever. And the cop came into our living room and was talking to us, and like he wouldn't even like talk about what happened. Like all he kept talking about was our we. He was like, "Oh, we got a V." They kept like that's all I could remember, and it was so weird. And finally, that they figured out the guy was like on a bunch of drugs. And he was like really high, and like nobody was even chasing him. But after that, like I was really, really traumatized. Like I couldn't go to a friend's house because I thought somebody was gonna like try to like hurt my mom and like get to her when I was away. So I kind of felt like I had to like protect her, but I was so little, like I wouldn't even done anything. And like I would not go outside. Like I was sure like somebody was like waiting outside to like get me or something. Like like at night, like I would freak out, and I always had to be like right next to my mom. Like she'd get so mad at me, but I'd be like touching her because I just like had to be right next to her, and like I'd follow her everywhere in the house. And like if I took a shower, even like she had to be in the bathroom with me. Like she wouldn't like watch me. It's like separated, but she had to be in the bathroom. So, and I was just so scared all the time. Like at night, I slept with all my lights on, and I'd sleep with my mom, and like every little sound, like I was so sure that something bad was gonna happen again. And then, like as the years like went on, like I got like a little bit better, but not really that much. And I would never like go into my room, and like my mom, she would like get mad at me because she was like, "Why are you being like this? Like you never used to be like this." And I told her like how much like freaked me out because like it's my house. Like you think your house is safe, and it's like your home. And so I got like better and better, and like I started sleeping in my own room, but I would like have to have like my night lights on or whatever, and like have a bunch. And like I always had to go to sleep before my mom did because I wanted to make sure like I was safe and like I was okay in my room. And like now, like I've gotten better, but I'm just so like paranoid, like when I go outside still, like, and like since we've been like writing our personal speeches and stuff, I've been like thinking a lot about like how it's like happened. And like last night when I got back from the game, and it was like dark outside, and like our driveway isn't connected to our house or whatever, so like I have to walk, and it's just like so dark on my road, and like last night I was so paranoid. I ran to the door, and like I'm always like in the back of my mind like thinking like somebody's like trying to get me and stuff, and I don't know, it really affected me a lot. And so like my lesson was like, you need to like lock your doors, and like you need to like be safe, like because you never know what's gonna happen. Like everybody thinks like Van's so safe, but then like you hear like stories and stuff, and like things like happen. So like you need to stay safe, and like I learned a lot from my parents too. Like they've like protected me, like they put their selves like in harm's way just to protect me, make sure that I was safe. So I think that like will carry me through like when I'm a parent and I'll protect my kids.